Hey guys, Connor from the Ticket Stub, and you are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW LP Conroe and 106.1 KZCC LP Conroe, and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Hello everyone, welcome to a fabulous Monday. It's beautiful outside. I am your host, Margie Taylor of Conroe Culture News, FM 104.5, 106.1, and live streaming at irlonestar.com. Today we are in downtown Conroe, Lone Star Community Radio, and we're going to talk all about Habitat for Humanity of Montgomery County. Did you know it's International Women's Day? So, yes, so celebrate the women business owners, women leaders, moms, sisters, cousins. It's all about the women today. And we're going to talk about Women Build also. That's this week. How ironic. And everything about Habitat for Humanity. Today I have Vicki Johnson, Executive Director of Habitat for Humanity of Montgomery County. Cynthia Sotelo, she's the Family Services Manager, and she has a lot of different hats that she wears, and we'll talk about her role. And we also have the Lynn family, Chris and Christy. They were the first veterans build at with Habitat at Cedar Creek Community in Conroe. So they're going to tell us about their experiences. And then we're going to give a little call to Rhonda Washington, who's going to tell us about the home repair program, and she's a recipient of that program. So we have a lot to talk about in this hour, and I hope that this brings you a lot of information. So this is sponsored by Roger Stein Chiropractic, and they're located by Conroe High School. If you're a new patient, it's only $25, and she gives it back to CASA with every new patient. So if you have a back, you have a need. Go by and see her, 3033 West Davis by Conroe High School. A couple things going on around downtown Conroe. There's a Start the Green party with Lucky Day Sip and Shop at the store that right next door to us, to the radio station here. That will be this Thursday, March 11th from 4 to 9. Main Street Merchants. You can shop, sip, drink mimosas, and visit with the Lucky Chip Company, and they're the vendor of the month. So they have a lot of fun, fashionable wearables, gifts for the home, gifts for anybody on your list, or just to be nice, or because it's International Women's Day. What a great way to give and think about some woman that you care about. So also starting Friday is the premiere of Footloose. That is going to be fun. And that's just right across the street from us, kind of diagonal, at the Owens Theater. So Footloose will have 3 weeks of premiere starting this Friday and going Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I believe there's a couple Thursdays in there. Only 3 weeks. And they're selling out fast because you know what? They're open at 100% capacity now. Boom. So, of course, that not changes. It just all depends. You need to be respectful to the business owners because all of the restrictions are lifted in the state of Texas, but it's up to businesses to decide how they want to move forward and how you personally want to move forward. Mask or no mask, it's up to you. So keep your distance and be careful because COVID hasn't gone away just because it's Wednesday coming up. Just saying. All right. So also on Saturday is the 13th anniversary of Southern Star Brewing Company. So they're having a big celebration and probably lots of brew. It starts at noon, and they'll have artisans, music, and craft beer. So if you want to know more about that, go to Southern Star Brewing on their website or their Facebook page and find out more. So with that, we are going to just land straight into Habitat for Humanity. So, Vicki, Habitat's been around since 1989.
That's right. Yeah, more than 30 plus years. Yeah.
And it's going strong. So Cedar Creek Community.
Yeah.
You have 100 plus houses there?
Well, when we finish the subdivision, it'll be about 129 homes that we'll have in the community. It's a pretty amazing project on 30 plus acres of land. That was generous.
And it's a beautiful community.
It is absolutely beautiful. I'm so grateful to be a part of it.
How did Habitat acquire that property?
Well, it was donated to us and partially donated. I think we paid a very small portion of money for that property back in the late, I think it was somewhere between the late
90s?
Late 90s, that's
right.
correct. Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like home ownership. They pay a portion and...
Yeah.
kind of the same kind of thing.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you just pay it forward.
Yep.
So we're going to find out a little bit about the homeownership program. But the really neat thing is all these homes are built by volunteers.
Yeah, it's such an amazing project.
100%.
100%. 100%. The generosity of the community and the volunteers that make the program work. I mean, it's the Habitat model. It's such a great model. And, volunteers put their labor and love into it, just as they would their own homes. So it's pretty amazing.
And I can't wait to hear about the Lynn family and their experience with that. Cynthia, what's your role? Do you help with volunteers with
I
Habitat?
specifically work with the families.
Okay.
That is my focus.
So you know the Lynn family.
Very well. We were close. We are close, I should say. As a family services manager, I walk the family from beginning to closing, from the moment that they apply all the way to giving them their keys. So it's a very special role that I'm very lucky to have. It's honestly one of the greatest jobs, I would say.
So you work exclusively with them with any questions that Chris and Christy had through the process,
Yes.
and all of the requirements, including sweat equity and all of that, right?
Yes, all of the calling and, hey, haven't seen you on construction. But I never had the problem with them because honestly, their engagement was 100% from the beginning. They were entirely committed and dedicated, and we were all very, very supportive and proud of them.
Well, we're going to come back to you guys in just a minute, but I want to finish talking about the bigger picture with Vicki about Habitat. So you have a bunch of different programs.
We do. We do. Would you like me to tell you?
Yes,
about a few?
tell me about the programs. Okay. So, first of all, home ownership.
Home ownership, the key, and with our development, we're so fortunate. We have a board of directors who really believed in the subdivision model. And so we've been building in Cedar Creek for over 10 years. And we're projected to be finished with that community by 2023-24. Once we finish this year, we'll have 41 more lots to complete. And so we have a really advantageous goal, but we're super excited about it. We love the model of a subdivision where our families get a chance to learn and grow together, and we can grow a community. So we're very excited about that model.
So about the community, it's kind of like an HOA too, and there's like a governance for that?
Absolutely, because that preserves the community, right? Families invest back into their community so they can have the best of everything. I mean, we're hoping in a couple of years from now that we'll have more green space, we'll have parks, and where people can really enjoy their community and they can live for a very long time, pass it down to their children. So we really believe that this model is the best for Habitat families. For Montgomery County, we believe that.
It's a wonderful community.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I mean, it isn't what people would perceive in your mind.
It's not.
It's like any other community,
Ample
any other
backyards,
neighborhood.
Yeah, we have sidewalks. Yeah,
it's
beautiful.
normal, everybody, right?
Yeah, it is. And affordable housing is just a way that ensures that everyone has access. And Margie, I mean, we've seen the numbers. I mean, throughout the nation, the housing market is booming, but that's really not the case for affordable housing. So what we want to do is play a strong role in presenting opportunities for all families. Just today in the paper, I noticed in the community impact, they were just talking about in certain sectors of our community, if you were above a certain medium income, the housing market was booming, but not the case if it was under $200,000 or less. And so those are the important topics that Habitat is here to address.
And that's where you can really help the people. So how has the pandemic influenced what went on last year?
I mean, challenging. But did we keep our commitment to our families? We absolutely did.
So not just in building,
Yeah.
but in people that might have lost their homes.
Yeah.
Right? For loss of jobs and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, just a big
Shutdowns.
big economic strain. But on the federal level, we saw that, our federal leaders came through and said, hey, we're going to place a moratorium to keep people in their homes and keep them safe. But at Habitat, we kept our mission and our model to say, hey, stay in your homes. If you had any kind of issues or concerns with employment or you were ill during this time, we wanted to make sure our families were safe. And we were always checking on our families to make sure
So as long
that,
as they communicate with you, whatever's going on, you can deal with it.
yes,
Relatively.
and even if they weren't, because we wanted to be graceful about
Respectful.
the matter. Yeah, I mean, it's just a challenging time for us all,
So another thing you have, well, I guess I don't know who's going to talk about this. The Can Do crew.
Oh my gosh, the Can Do crew.
Can Do
Cynthia,
crew. I mean, this is Women's Week, right? Women
it
Build
is
Week.
Women Build Week, and we have an incredible group of women from our community. They've built 3 homes with us, you know, and because of them, we became an official Women Build last year. So it's pretty incredible. Cynthia, do you want to talk a little
Tell
bit
me about it.
Sure. So imagine a wave of pink hats. That is our Can Do crew. Honestly, it's awesome to have all women volunteers dedicated through an entire project. So you see them out there and we recognize them because they're wearing their pink hard hats. And it's honestly the greatest thing you've ever seen. They did a dedication last year during the pandemic. We kept it small, social distance, and it was, you know, just right when we got hit with the closures and all of that. So the pandemic affected us, but it didn't stop us. We modified and revitalized the program in a different way. So it's super awesome to have the Can Do crew, and we are super excited to continue to work with them.
Can other women be part of it?
All women.
All women.
All women.
What's the age restriction?
Well, that is an interesting question. I
Yeah.
don't believe that there
There's
is
not
an age restriction.
Not an age restriction, only when it comes to teens working
Yes.
on a construction site.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only-
Well, they need to be with like
18 and
parents
We
up.
or
prefer
have.
18.
18
We
and
prefer
up.
18
Okay.
over. Yeah.
18 and over. Just go with that. Adults. And so, do you have some projects coming forward right now with the Women
yeah.
Build?
Yeah, we've got a couple. We're going to have a conversation tomorrow evening.
Okay,
And
so
then-
nothing concrete, but there will be.
Yeah, we have a conversation. We're building walls too. The Women Build, they were committed to this year, but with restrictions on volunteers on site. So when they come in a team and they come ready to work. So we had a few restrictions this year, but next year they'll be on site and ready to go. Every year they raise $60,000 to sponsor a home. And like Cynthia said, there's a sea of pink hats ready to work, you know.
You can't miss them on any given build day.
Pink
They're
hard
out
hats,
there.
ready to
Pink
go.
hard hats.
Ready to go.
All women just, you know, doing it.
So
getting
tell
it
me
done.
about the project with Lowe's.
We're currently working on a grant. We've recently received $50,000, I believe.
It's 5, but
5
50 sounds really good.
We like 50. Let's make it 500.
We've gotten multiple grants.
Just keep adding
I
zeros.
combined all of them.
Yeah, let's make it $500,000. All right.
Sponsors,
Continue.
this is a shout
Continue,
out to you.
Cynthia.
Yeah, so we've received these funds, and we're looking for home repair applicants that are currently looking to either modify flooring because they currently have certain issues in the flooring of their home right now, roof repairs, anything from stabilizing a ramp outside or building a ramp.
So this is all the home repair program.
All home
It's
repair.
not the new builds
No,
that
home
Lowe's
repair,
is.
yeah.
Okay.
specifically.
Okay. Well, very good. Well, we'll talk about that in shortly
Sure.
with Miss Johnson. No, not Miss Johnson. What is her last name?
Miss Washington.
Washington. Okay, with
Yes.
Miss Washington. Sorry. Okay, we'll talk. We'll get her on the phone and talk with her about that shortly. But since y'all are sitting here, Lynn family, I want to talk briefly, and then we're going to take a break and continue the conversation. Tell me how you found out your story. What's the backstory? How'd you get involved with Habitat?
Well, we were looking for adequate housing for our family. We have 4 children, 3 still live at home, and we were kind of down on our luck. My husband had lost his job. He is in the oil and gas industry, and anybody who knows the industry knows it can be very up and down, and we were definitely part of the downslide, and we and prior to job loss, not too long before that, we were also hit with tax day floods.
Yes, the floods.
And
Tell me about that. How did
so-
that affect you?
We lost everything we owned. We had just moved to the Houston area 2 months before the flooding hit. We grew up in the deserts of New Mexico. We were totally taken by surprise because we didn't know there was such thing as flood insurance. Like, we just didn't know.
You didn't get rains
understand.
like that.
Right, exactly.
In New Mexico.
In New Mexico, it just didn't. We never saw so much water.
But you got snow, right?
Yes, we did get lots of nice snow. So, so yeah, it just wiped us out. We walked away from our rental home with the clothes on our back and our pets tucked under our arms, like, and we barely got our vehicle out, and out of the neighborhood. So yeah,
That's devastating.
It was devastating, and and trying to comfort our children and through it all, and be the example and stay positive through it all. It was tough, and it was challenging.
You had school age children too.
Yes, they were all school age when the flood hit. All 4 children were at home with us. So, and they lost everything that they owned. So too, and it was just, and we weren't the only family affected. I know that there are hundreds of other families that have lived in the Houston area over the last several years that have been affected by the different hurricanes and tropical storms and the flooding. And so yeah, I know and understand it's tough, it's hard, but in the end, at the end of the day, it's just stuff. That was my personal perspective on it. In the tax day flood, I think 6 or 7 people lost their lives in that flood. And there were some scary moments for our family when we were trying to, get from our home to the car, and our youngest was 7, and the current was so strong it swept her off of her feet, and we had to grab her.
It's very scary.
It was very scary. So so we were very fortunate that we had each other. Our family was intact, and the pets made it out too.
Yeah.
And
so those are all the important things. Whether you have to replace your toothbrush or your clothing or kitchen supplies, that can all happen in time.
Exactly.
But you can't replace a pet, your daughter,
right,
your son.
exactly.
Any of that. So that was very important.
Yes.
So before we take a quick break, can you tell me, how did you find out about Habitat?
Well, I was actually, we were on the search to find housing for our family. At the time, we were living in a fifth wheel camp trailer at an RV park, and we knew that this has got to be temporary, right? Like, we can't do this forever. We're making it work for now, but we've got to figure out something else. Apartments are very expensive. Rental homes are expensive. And now, we're looking at job loss, so our income is just not what it was before. So we were looking for something affordable. What can we afford that's big enough to house our family? And so we were looking at different apartment complexes, and we were looking at different neighborhoods, going in with new builds. And we were actually just driving by, and we saw this neighborhood. And
really, you drove by and saw it?
We drove by and saw this
Wow.
neighborhood, and so I was like, "Well, let's go check out these homes." And we were rolling through, and there's several houses in various stages of construction, and we were like, these are really cute houses.
It's emotional, isn't it? I can
it
tell
is.
by looking at you. This is kind of an emotional story.
So, yeah, but we were just really impressed. We're like, these are cute. They're well built, and they look nice, and they look like they might be in our price range. So we drove. Typically, in a new neighborhood like that, the model home and the realtor are, at the front of the neighborhood. So we drove to the front of the neighborhood, and we're like, where's the open house? Where's the model home?
Where's the people?
Where's the people that I want to, So we just drove through the neighborhood, and that's when we saw the signs in the yards of the new construction that these were
Who were the
Habitat for Humanity
sponsors and
home.
all of that, yeah.
And this house is being built for this family, and it's being sponsored by this group. I was like, oh, Habitat for Humanity. I've heard of that, but I don't know anything about it. So then I went on their website and got more information and attended an information meeting and started the paperwork.
And got with Cynthia.
And so yeah. And about a year and a half later, we had keys in our hand.
So, okay, we're going to take a quick break. And again, this is sponsored by Roger Stein Chiropractic, and I'm Margie Taylor, and we'll be right back.
Since 2004, Roger Stein Chiropractic has offered spine and joint manipulation services to residents of Montgomery County and surrounding areas. Conditions treated include lower back pain, migraines, headaches, whiplash, carpal tunnel, neck pain, sciatica, joint pain, sports injuries, herniated discs, and complications from pregnancy. Roger Stein Chiropractic, led by Dr. Stacy Rogers and Dr. Brian McGee, is an integrity-verified chiropractic clinic. Call 936-441-9990 for an appointment or visit rogerssteinchiropractic.com. That's RODGERSSTEIN chiropractic.com.
Second Saturday Divorce Workshop provides unbiased information to help you understand your options and move forward with your life. This divorce workshop is for you if you are contemplating divorce, in the process of divorce, already filed for divorce, or post-divorce. You will explore the emotional, legal, and financial aspects of divorce from professionals who have guided others through divorce. For more information on this divorce workshop, contact SecondSaturdayWoodlands.com or call 832-375-0900.
The Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service has been dedicated to educating Texans for over a century. In 1915, the Extension Program was established under the federal Smith-Lever Act to deliver university knowledge and agricultural research findings directly to the people. Ever since, AgriLife Extension programs have addressed the emerging issues of the day, serving diverse populations across the state. Texans turn to Extension for solutions in horticulture, agriculture, 4-H and youth, and family and consumer sciences. Extension agents respond not only with answers, but also with resources and services that result in significant returns on investment to boost the economy. Join us Fridays at 1 o'clock for the AgriLife Extension Hour.
And we're back. So I'm Margie Taylor, your host of Conroe Culture News, and we're talking about Habitat for Humanity. And we were talking with Christy Lynn of the Veterans Build of Habitat and what she's had to go through. And she's here with her husband, Chris, too, who's going to interject a few words. So to qualify for Habitat, what is the process? How did you guys get qualified?
Well, we found out about the program through the website.
Mm-hmm.
We contacted them, and they told us about there's a monthly meeting at the library. It's kind of an orientation, kind of a information thing. And we went and we heard the presentation and we filled out the paperwork. And before we know it, we had meetings with the staff and we were on the providing what documentation they needed and before we know it, we were involved in the process.
Was it exciting?
It was exciting.
Motivating?
At the time in our life, we had suffered a lot of setbacks and a lot of challenges. Life jumps up and kicks you in the head every now and then, so we were kind of down on our luck a little bit, and we were struggling to. My wife said earlier about trying to be positive and uplifting and strong for the kids, but at the same time, how do I navigate this new water that I'm in, and what am I going to do? And the volunteers, Vicki and everyone at Habitat, were very, very helpful in helping us and encouraging us and showing us that there is a light at the end of that tunnel and that we can make it.
So you had hope.
Oh yeah, and it was
hope in your
amazing.
heart that things were going to transform.
Yes, absolutely, and the process wasn't overbearing. It wasn't difficult. It was a lot easier than I anticipated it being, and
they walked with you.
Absolutely.
Beside you. The
I never
whole
felt
process.
like I was alone to figure
Here,
this
go
out
figure it out, yeah.
myself. If we ever had a question, we could call up Cynthia, and you know, with a smile in her voice, you know, she'd help us out. And
She looks friendly
she's,
and approachable.
we'll keep her around.
Okay, you got your job today.
So, and it was just, and that's the thing that I like most about it is that sense of community from the very beginning, and that I actually belong here, and that I'm not being left to. The rest of the world can be very cutthroat. You know, you don't make this much money, we don't want to talk to you. This bank, we don't have time for you.
You didn't
And
have that feeling with
not
Habitat.
Not at all. And they were very patient with any ignorant questions that we might have had. You know, we didn't know. So and they were like, oh no, and they were very, very loving and helpful for that. Once we started with the build, we were so excited. Like again, my wife said, we were living in a fifth wheel trailer. Yeah. All of us, the dogs, the cat, everybody in this little bitty trailer, and it was challenging of itself, but that's all we could afford at the time. So when it was time to start raising the walls, and it was starting to we were very motivated, and so we were out there every weekend swinging hammers, and
You didn't mind participating.
I think that's one of the beauties of this program. From a homeowner perspective, you know, I had to work the sweat equity.
Tell me about sweat equity.
In order to get your home, you have to put in so many hours on other people's homes, and you have to donate those hours. And then once you reach that limit, the rest of the hours of your sweat equity is placed on your own home. So it's such a beautiful, wonderful template. And, you know, I'm working on my neighbor's home, and I'm helping them build their home.
And you get to know them,
and
too.
I get to know them. And I get to see the excitement, and then I get to work on this neighbor's home. And then when we start working on my home, I have other people from the neighborhood.
So you still stay in contact
coming.
with all these people,
Absolutely.
right?
We take cookies to them. We go to walk down the street and visit
You're
them.
immersed in their walls.
Yeah. So we
Literally.
I know, right?
absolutely. Yeah. It's just you want to talk about building a community. I mean, I know those
From the
neighbors,
ground up.
and I while we're sitting there swinging hammers, we're talking about their situation and how and their stories, and it's just wonderful.
emotional.
It's wonderful to be a part of. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Did you guys work at all at Restore?
Yes, there were times when scheduling or whatever wouldn't allow us to work on this, or maybe there was work crews assigned to other homes, but not on our home. So we wanted to get some extra hours. We could go in during the week and get at the Restore.
Let's talk about what Restore is.
Sure.
Yeah.
Vicki?
Yeah, Restore is our retail operations at support. We sell just donated goods back to the community, and it goes back into our mission. And it's an awesome model to support sustaining our work. We're located off of 242, and if you've ever been,
It's a beautiful
and I
building.
know you have,
Yes.
it's
I've donated and bought.
I think we all can attest to that, and it's just a wonderful way to support the mission of the organization. And so, and if you haven't been out, please come out.
Yes.
So anything for your home, if you're doing any kind of renovation or even decor items and furniture, you can find it Restore. So when Chris was talking about Restore, it's the store. That's what it's called. It's the Habitat home with 100% of the proceeds going towards
That's correct.
building new homes for homeowners. So you did some of that when you couldn't get out in the neighborhood and do something physically, whatever the constraints were. So you enjoyed it. And so what is it like building your home and living in it?
Well, it's very interesting because I'm not a carpenter by trade, and so you're learning new skills, and the construction foremen that work for Habitat, they have a whole crew of volunteers, but they take the time to teach, and they are very good and patient about, explaining this is why we're going to do this. So you understand what goes into this home. It's not just, manual labor and beefy guys throwing up wood and hammering them in place.
And there's a plan for every house.
The plans were absolutely amazing. The way that it was organized, it just completely boggled my mind that it was so structured, and they knew where everything went, And I think that's just because of the years of and the repetition that they're doing. But it was took a lot of the stress off of us. What do we do when we show up? We don't know what we're doing, and it was very easily laid out. And
Did your kids help too?
Yes.
I know there's the whole age thing.
Right.
but-
Yeah. So we did have one of our daughters. Oh, I'm so sorry. So yes, one of our daughters, at the time she was 16, so she was able to be on site and help. And she absolutely loved every minute of it. I have some great pictures of her with a hard hat and a hammer and a tool belt and a huge smile on her face.
She have a pink helmet?
Margie, can I also just emphasize, tell them about the other unique ways your children contributed to your sweat equity by their grades.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about that.
It's really a great program. We have such a great program.
Yes,
We reward
they
good
do.
grades.
Yes. So the children can help contribute to your sweat equity hours by getting good grades in school. And all three of my children that were at home at the time, they worked very hard and very diligently to get their grades up and to maintain A's and B's. And Habitat will award, we bring in a report card, and they will award the children, I believe it was 3 hours for an A, 2 hours for
Wow,
a B.
that can all add up.
And 1 hour for a C. It absolutely
It's a
can.
great program.
It added up fast. And so that was a really
So
unique
it's a
way.
Family project.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And my 16-year-old, she was doing double duty. She was getting good grades in school and getting those A's and B's. And she was at the construction site on Saturday helping swing a hammer.
So, being that they were a part of this, do you feel like they have more respect for the house now where they live?
Definitely. I think
I mean, I
so.
know how teenagers are. I
Yeah,
get it.
they're
Been
still-
there. So, and they can be kind of abusive, but it might be a different role if you actually helped construct the home.
Oh yeah, there's still tempers and there's still a slam door every now and then. I mean, it's a family and it's a home.
Sure.
But yeah, they have definitely they have invested interest in this as well, and so they put a lot of effort into it, and it's wonderful to see how all that can contribute. They have plans to continue helping and with the community and
So it's in their blood now.
my son is working
Yeah.
on an Eagle project, and he's
Yeah.
in contact with Vicki and Aaron at Habitat about doing a project that would satisfy the needs for his Eagle Scout requirements and stuff. And
Very
so
nice.
he
he's
wants to
taking
give
it
back and
to the
and
next
so it's-
level.
So wonderful.
Absolutely. It's
So you
wonderful.
shared with me a little bit about when it snowed and the heat. Tell me about that.
Yeah, off air we discussed a little bit about the snow that happened a couple of weeks ago, and a lot of people lost power and water, and we were one of them as well. But our house never got below 60 degrees. It's a very well insulated house. We were out of power for about 2 days, and it got a little chilly, but not cold. Not
It wasn't uncomfortable chilly.
Absolutely. We were able to throw on a pair of sweats or wrap up in a blanket and ride it out. I was very surprised. I thought that we're again from the deserts of New Mexico, and we don't like the cold, but it was it was very, very surprising.
It found you.
It found us.
Yes, and that's good news because people have this perception that Habitat homes aren't a community you want to live in, number one, or they're not constructed very well. And it's hard to get into the program. You've alleviated all those falsehoods right there.
And not only that, I want to show that there's another side of it. There's the sponsors, the companies that we work with that partner with Habitat. So we had a title company that
Momentum title.
Momentum Title that came in and partnered with us, and they helped supply the volunteers on the days that we were building, and I'm sure that there was other things that I'm not aware of that they contributed behind the scenes, but in every one of these builds that you see, there's people from the community
A part of it.
helping as
So
well.
also mention, Chris, about the veterans build.
Yeah, it was an honor to. I'm considered the first veteran build.
We're calling it out,
for
yep.
this. I know that there's others in the community that have ties to the military, and so I don't like to hog all that glory. I want to.
But you're the first official.
I'm the first official
For Habitat.
and it's very touching to me to be, recognized in that manner. But I just want to let everyone know that, other veterans out there, that there are so many different programs, whether it's Habitat or other programs out there, that to seek those out, because, it does get difficult sometimes, and it does.
Everybody has their own challenge,
and
but there's
sometimes the way
resources
doesn't-
out there.
Exactly. And sometimes the way doesn't seem clear. And us military guys, we like that. We want to know what the objective is. And we want to be, especially when our family's involved, we want to take care of our families and protect and provide. And sometimes that there's a fog there. And to have a beacon that we can look to and to help guide us is life-saving.
That's wonderful. My son's in the Army. He's actually at home and going back today to Fort Hood. Yes. So he's getting ready to do a year in South Korea.
Wow.
Yes, so
Good luck to him.
we're
Thank you.
beefing up for that, so I understand.
Thank you for
So
your service.
we're going to take another quick break, and we're going to then talk about the home repair program with someone who was a recipient, and Cynthia. So we'll be right back.
Hey y'all, it's DJ Mike from Dance Time in Texas. Join me Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. as I count down the top 10 Texas Red Dirt songs that are packing the dance floor. I'll be featuring local artists and the story behind the hits, shows in the area, as well as new songs that make you want to dance. It's Dance Time in Texas with DJ Mike on Lone Star Community Radio, 104.5 KCZW and 106.1 KZCC, Conroe, Texas, or online, irlonestar.com.
Since 2004, Roger Stein Chiropractic has offered spine and joint manipulation services to residents of Montgomery County and surrounding areas. Conditions treated include lower back pain, migraines, headaches, whiplash, carpal tunnel, neck pain, sciatica, joint pain, sports injuries, herniated discs, and complications from pregnancy. Roger Stein Chiropractic, led by Dr. Stacy Rogers and Dr. Brian McGee, is an integrity-verified chiropractic clinic. Call 936-441-9990 for an appointment, or visit rogerssteinchiropractic.com. That's RODGERSSTEIN chiropractic.com.
What is homelessness? Have you seen parents struggle to find a job without having transportation or childcare? What about the children sleeping in cars with nothing to eat? Families shouldn't have to struggle to survive, and children should not be homeless. Family Promise of Montgomery County serves the needs of homeless families and their children. Learn about ways you can help and learn about partnership opportunities at www.familypromiseofmc.org or call our day center at 936-441-8778.
Lone Star Community Radio is ready for the summer. If you or anyone you know is looking for a summer internship, Lone Star Community Radio is a great place to learn the radio and TV business. Contact the station at info@irlonestar.com or call the station's message line at 936-647-3776. Lone Star Community Radio offers a great opportunity to those interested in learning about the radio world.
Hello, and we are back live from downtown Conroe talking about Habitat for Humanity. So we have Rhonda Washington is on the phone. Rhonda, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful. So we are going to talk about the home repair program, and I understand through Cynthia, who's also here with us, that you're a recipient of that program. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. So, Cynthia, how did Rhonda get involved in this program?
Hey, Rhonda.
Hi, how are you?
Doing awesome. Thanks for being on here. I just want to talk a little bit about how you became involved. Rhonda applied for disaster aid from Harvey. So Ms. Rhonda is a Harvey survivor. Her and her family found Habitat, applied, and got in touch with me. Whenever I went out to visit her home, we found that there was a lot of damage from Harvey. Her flooring was impacted, and there was damage in multiple areas in her home. primarily causing a huge issue for her baby, who lives with her as well. So we saw that as a risk, and quickly I started working with contractors and volunteers who helped me evaluate the entire home, and we got the entire house replaced with new flooring. So
wonderful.
That's how we worked with Rhonda.
So what do you think about that, Rhonda?
It was a godsend because I knew flooring is expensive regardless.
Correct.
And so when they came and they said, okay, you got approved and all this other stuff, I was like, thank God, because we have partial custody of our 2 godchildren, and one's 3 years old and one's 11 months old. So they're running and crawling and all that stuff. So we were, knew we had to get the floors done, and we were just trying to figure out how to do it.
How did you get connected with this program with Habitat?
Well, actually, I went through United Way was the first way. I called United Way and kind of explained what was going on. They sent me through, I think it was Baker Ripley.
Baker Ripley.
And then they're the ones that kind of started the ball rolling. And they have a whole program, and you apply, and they send it out to different agencies. Like we end up getting appliances replaced and some furniture also, because they have different avenues they can go through.
Sure.
And so they work with Habitat for Humanity, and they contacted Cynthia, and then we went through there, and our contractor, Mr. Carlos, was awesome. He's so sweet. We still talk to him today.
So how long did it take from the beginning when you first started connecting with Habitat to getting your home repaired?
I want to say maybe maybe a month or 2.
That's all?
It wasn't
Wow.
that long.
That's pretty fast.
Yeah, when I started, because, it took longer once with United Way, because I started that back in May.
Okay.
So by January, we got to the flooring, after all the other different steps they had to go through.
Right.
So they started doing my floors, I want to say it was the first week in February, because it's been a little over a year now.
Yep.
And they were done in 3 weeks. I want to say it was 3 or 4 weeks.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
it was a
that
good
long.
program. So what's it like now living in your home with the floors repaired? Is everything going well?
I love it. Yeah, and plus my husband has asthma, so carpet is horrible for people with asthma.
I get
so
it.
thank God we were able to get the wood flooring and then the tiles in the kitchen and bathroom and everything. So and my godchildren are running all over the place. They're on the way here now. So.
Another thing we did for Rhonda was replace the water heater as well.
Oh yeah, the water heater. Yes.
Nice.
The water heater. Yeah, and they did my central.
AC and heater.
Yeah, heater. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Wow. So you have a whole new home, pretty much.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, yeah. I really do.
Would you recommend this program, the home repair program with Habitat?
Oh, definitely. I've already sent other people. I told them this is how I started it. So I sent them through United Way, but I told them, who did it. So I told them, okay, first you ask for this, then you ask for this, then you tell them you need, Habitat to see if you can get onto the program.
Well, very good. We appreciate you coming on here on the radio and telling us your story. Is everything else going well for you and your family right now?
Oh, pretty good. Now we're having because of the ice storm, we think we might have a cracked engine in our truck. So now we have to
Yeah.
But
your home's okay, right? Your home is all right?
My home, yes. Thank God. No, no busted pipes, no.
You're lucky. You're very lucky.
Nothing. I know. We had nothing, so I'm excited.
Very good. Well, thank you, Rhonda. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Rhonda.
Thank you. No problem. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Wow. So how does one become involved in the home repair program?
You sign up. You let me know. Reach out to Habitat. We have a volunteer beat now that we send out and a monthly newsletter as well. We constantly recruit volunteers. Currently working on building our home repair committee that has
So
been
that's
established.
volunteer
Yes.
run as well. Somebody
Yes.
that does have experience, contractors and things like that, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Plumbing, electrical,
Right.
all of that.
And Margie and Cynthia, if I could just speak to the importance of home repairs. With the winter storm, we're really blessed and fortunate. Many people lost their lives due to subpar, substandard insulation, trying to heat their homes inappropriately. And our program is critical to assisting families. Like you heard from Ms. Rhonda, you know, they didn't have AC or heating, but it makes such a difference that we are blessed with the funds, even though they're limited, to be able to help families who really need that assistance. So when we look at issues regarding decent and affordable housing, it's just not new home construction, but home repairs.
And that also helps with aging in place.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, absolutely. We actually just got, you know, just because we formalized 3 programs last year, our Veterans Build, our Aging in Place, and our Women Build programs. And that opened up opportunities for us to get other types of funding. And most recently, just last week, we were approached about Aging in Place program, how important it is for a senior to remain in their home and to remain in the home safely.
That is such a big deal right now.
It is.
People my age and older, we're all getting older, hopefully, and you want to stay in your home, first of all, because it financially makes a difference. It's expensive to go to an assisted living environment. So, and you want to stay in the place that has your familiar surroundings with people you love and care about. But sometimes you have to have modifications to stay and age in place, like no stairs or ramps or bathroom modifications,
Absolutely.
different things like that. And that's part of what you guys do?
Absolutely. Improving air quality. I mean, we've had issues with roofs and, you know, making sure that there's no mold in homes. So all of those things are critical. And when you're aging in your home, sometimes you are unable
You can't
to
do it
those
physically,
And so
right.
we have a group of volunteers ready to work, and Cynthia's just done an amazing job in building our repair program. Actually, Cynthia
You have such a vital role.
I mean, it is the work. If we don't have a
is.
strong family services manager, we
You
can't get this work done.
connect with
And
all
she's
the
doing an amazing
services
job.
and all the people in the
Yep.
community.
Yep.
Okay, we're going to take one more break and then talk about how people can get involved in Habitat. Sound
All
good?
of the exciting
All
ones?
the exciting stuff.
You got it.
Listen in Mondays at noon to hear Conroe news from local nonprofits, businesses, upcoming events, Conroe Park events, news stories, and information that matters to you with your host, Margie Taylor of Taylorized PR. For more information about being a guest, visit irlonestar.com/Conroe Culture.
A Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's radio station with talk, music, weather, and traffic for Montgomery County. Have a question or comment about one of our shows? Want to know how to reach a host? Just contact the station at irlonestar.com or call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show with monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5 and 106.1 and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776.
And we're back, and we're finishing the story about Habitat for Humanity. As you can hear, there's so many programs that you can get involved in. And speaking of that, there's different ways that you can volunteer. Cynthia, what are some of the ways that people can get involved with Habitat?
You can directly participate in home repairs. So if you have any kind of experience, and even if you don't, again, we have great leaders in place that help guide you through these repairs. You can volunteer at our restore. There is Saturday build that you can volunteer at as well. And if you are a college kid, We do have an intern who's currently working with us, and we have had several over the past year.
Yes, that sounds great.
So college students have a great opportunity to grow with Habitat.
And like the Lynn family was saying, they got involved in so many different ways to volunteer, and there's probably something for young people too, but to connect with Cynthia. And Cynthia, how does someone connect with you?
You can email me at familyservices@habitatmctx.org, or you can shoot me a call directly to our number, 936-441-8662, and then just connect with me. We do have a volunteer engagement manager now. Her name is Erin, so she'll take care of connecting with you as well.
Filling it in. Anything you guys want to add?
Get involved.
Get involved.
This
Okay.
is a wonderful program. Jump in. Don't be scared.
All right, so there's outreach, there's the Restore. The Restore also needs people to volunteer and help stock shelves and go through donations, help with donations. You're still taking donations, right?
We are taking donations.
So if you have gently used items or new items that you're not using, fixtures or any kind of building supplies and things like that, the Restore is open on Highway 242. And what hours is that open?
Tuesday through Saturday, 9 to 5.
Tuesday through Saturday, 9 to 5. Sign up, get involved. Sponsors, always need sponsors for the building of these homes because it takes money.
It does.
You know, it truly does. And then there's a special thing happening Saturday.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, so on Saturday, we're celebrating International Women Build, and all week, it's just, we'll have a great conversation with the Can Do crew tomorrow evening, just talking about the importance of women and making women feel important about their investment in home ownership. And the statistics say that although women outpace men in home ownership, as it pertains to employment and financial security, they still fall far behind. So we're here to raise awareness about the importance. And then women just getting involved and coming together as a community to build our neighborhood. And so Margie, we're going to build walls, and we really appreciate Lowe's for their contribution and Habitat International for helping us to make a difference.
So you can go to Cedar Creek Community on Saturday if you want to be a part and see what's going on. That's early in the morning Saturday, like 8 a.m., something like that. 7 a.m. Okay, there you go.
Up and at 'em, early
So
birds.
Habitat, MCTX.org for all the information. They're also on Facebook, and Restore has a Facebook page too. That's a wrap for today. So thanks for listening. Thank you all. Have a great day.
Margie.